So we're stopping by the Warner booth here this early Wednesday morning at Gamescom to talk to Christofer a little bit about Mad Max and Avalanche Studios, who are sort of you've been in the dark for a little while, and now with Mad Max you're coming out into the bright light again. It's got to feel good to sort of finally have a game to sort of talk about.
Well, having a game announced is always great. It's always a great feeling to have, and. But it's also nice to have those years to prepare to actually show it, rather than being under stress to announce something. So it takes time to develop the kind of games we do, but I hope players will see it's worth it in the end.
So what has those years been like? What's been building behind the scenes, so to speak?
Well, it's partially a whole lot of new tech development that's been going on. We've obviously added next-gen consoles. It's our first really narrative-driven open-world game, so sort of changing that mentality in the studio, going from the more sandboxy, chaotic way of designing a game to a more narrative-style game, which has been a very cool experience, so I guess that's what's been going on.
That change, well, is that more of a sort of like a team change that you have to put in new personalities, or do you have to switch things up with the tools, or where is the challenge there?
It changes quite in every area. One of the big changes in this game is that we don't have flying vehicles, like we don't have jets or helicopters or
sort of homemade little helicopter thing.
No homemade helicopter thing. No clubs floating in the air and so on. So that's both makes it easier because we can only focus on the ground environments only, but it takes away a little bit. Well, or it changes things how we approach from a technical standpoint, as our engine has been designed to handle very fast streaming from everything from underwater to mid-air. So, but no, it's been we haven't obviously we hired some new people to the team, but it's been a sort of a mindset change in the studio to handle a more narrative-driven experience rather than. Just Cause 2 was a very well, it's driven by chaos, and I think that chaotic mentality that we had in the team, or letting our team play around a lot, really showed through in the game. And this is more, when you do a more narrative-driven experience, it's more control. So I guess that's the biggest difference. So it's more of a mindset experience or change than anything else.
But there will be chaos, won't there, in the game, but more controlled perhaps? Or?
It's a lot of chaos in Mad Max as well. I mean, the post-apocalyptic world and the world of Mad Max is very chaotic as it is, as the world has gone mad. So obviously it's got that Avalanche flavor of it, a lot of explosions, a lot of flying cars, a lot of crazy shit happening. So
where do you feel like in terms of the development? Are you happy where you're at now? You got some sort of undefined 2014 dates lurking out there. How do you feel about it?
No, it feels great. It's really, from when the game is announced until the very end, this is really where the fun starts again. In the very beginning, it's like you design the game and it's a lot of like brainstorming and fun ideas. Then you go into production. It's sort of it's fun because things move forward, but everybody's waiting for that day when the game is being announced, and we had that experience at E3, and now we're showing here again, and so now it's some time left to work on it, and that will go into to finalize the game and then polish it to be the Mad Max experience everybody is waiting for.
One of the reactions to the announcement was the accent, or sort of lack of accent, in there. And could you talk to us about what's the situation there? Have you found an Aussie actor, or?
Yeah, as we said, I mean, we took on, we listened to the fans, and we hired a great voice actor actually in this demo here today. So it's I think it sounds great. It fits really well with the game. So
you'd think that would be something that like would be ordered from upstairs, that this is the kind of guy we're going for, or that sort of thing. But it was just left up to you, or what was the thinking there?
It's always a collaboration and those things. So it's I mean, we had an approach and then we changed it. It's those things happen. So.
All right. So could you tell us a little bit about what else is going on at Avalanche? You haven't announced a second game yet, but what's cooking at the studio?
Well, the studio in Stockholm is obviously busy with Mad Max, but we also have our mobile game in development. It's a mobile and tablet game that I hope we'll be able to announce later this year. It's something that we do completely on our own, so it's a new IP. And we're starting up some new developments, some new projects that we do internally. Just as concepts, so that's very exciting. And then we have the studio in New York, obviously, that's working on the project with Square Enix, still to be announced. So the studio is very busy at the moment, so it's a lot of fun.
Sounds exciting. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.